Air France disrespected Ibrahim Traore, not knowing he was the president. Foreign Affairs Netherlands. What seemed like a normal flight turned into a powerful lesson. A flight attendant targets a quiet African passenger with disrespected, not knowing he is the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. As tensions rise mid-air, the truth is revealed after landing, leaving the entire crew and the France CEO in shock. This dramatic story highlights dignity, strength, and the moment when hidden power is finally seen by all. Captain Ibrahim Traore at the airport. The sun had just begun to rise over the quiet, peaceful airport. Inside the cold terminal, Ibrahim Traore waited calm at gate 37. He didn't wear a suit, didn't have bodyguards, and carried nothing flashes. To most, he looked like any other African traveler. But this man was not ordinary. He was Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso. He preferred to travel privately and humble. No cameras, no loud announcement. That's how he moved. He believed in staying grounded, blending in with the people. He had just returned from a European diplomatic mission where he discussed God, sovereign, and African future. Now, he simply wanted to go home. Captain Ibrahim Traore boarding Air France. As he approached the Air France flight to Ouagadougou, he greeted one of the airport workers in French with a warm smile. Bonjour. The worker smiled back, unaware of his true identity. Traore boarded the flight, nodded at the crew, and sat in business class, low 2A, near the window. No one noticed, and that's how he liked it. The French CEO. Meanwhile, a French CEO used a red carpet campaign and first-class privilege, arrived at the gate, expecting the same treatment. When told business class was full, he wasn't pleased. He demanded a seat upgrade, claiming his importance in Africa business affair. He was used to getting his way, and the airline scrambled to satisfy him. The senior flight attendant, Clara, tall, white, and dressed impeccably, was carried in with a forced smile. They boarded the plane, scanning the cabin. Her eyes locked onto Traore, sitting calm in his seat, dressed simple, no sign of status. He appeared to her as someone who didn't belong. My other account was banned. Here is the complete story. Climb, Air France, air hostess, unfortunately, forgettable encounter with Captain Ibrahim Traore. She politely, but finally, him asked to see his boarding pass. He complied. The seat number was correct. Still, something inside her didn't sit right. Moment later, they returned with a more direct tone. Sir, We may need to move you to accommodate another passenger. Would you mind relocating to economy? We will compensate you. Ibrahim, calm and quiet, raised an eyebrow. Why me? He asked. Clara replied vague, just a smile, adjustment for another guest. A guest more important than me? He questioned. She didn't respond. The other passengers glanced around, sensing discomfort, but no one intervened. Traore softly but firm replied, "No, I will remain in my seat." Clara was stunned. A man like him saying no, especially an African man. She tried again, but Traore stood his ground. "If this is operational," he said, "then explain why I am being asked and not anyone is." Frustrated, Clara walked away, then began targeting other black men in business class. Her second mistake. Traore watched this silently, his face composed, his mind sharp. Then Clara pointed to a young African man and said, "You, sir, we need you to move to economy." The man looked confused. "Why me?" She didn't answer. She just took his boarding pass. That's when Ibrahim Traore stand up. "Enough," he said. His voice was calm, but heavy with authority. "You are making decisions based on skin, not on tickets." That called discrimination. Clara tuned up, perhaps. "Sir, please don't cause a scene." Her breath caught. There was something about his state and powerful. But she still didn't know who he was. To her, he was just another passenger acting like a troublemaker. She walked off again, muttering in French, "These people always making noise." Meanwhile, the CEO was escorted on board. Clara greeted his with extra warmth, offering him champagne. "We are fixing the seating issue, Mojo," they said. Traore calm sat back and fastened his seat belt. He taped the armrest with his feet. He didn't need to say a word. Soon the entire world know what had happened and who he really was. The CEO, smiled in his seat, didn't even glance at Traore as they passed. The flight attendant checked on him constantly. More tour, more champagne. The message was clear: you matter, that man does not. The plane took off into the sky, leaving French soil, but carrying a moment that would shock two nations. Inside the cabin, everything seemed normal. Passengers relaxed, seatbelt sign tuned off, but beneath the surface, something powerful was glowing. Traore didn't complain. He didn't call anyone. He didn't reveal himself. He just sat quiet, like a man watching a movie unfold, knowing exactly how it would end. Clara avoided eye contact. Something about his presence unsettled her. She returned mid-flight with a forced smile. Would you like anything to drink, sir? Water is fine, he replied. She nodded and walked away. No apologies, no cocktails. The CEO, meanwhile, was basking in attention. Clara laughed at his jokes, leaned in when he spoke, and Egg asked about his important project in Africa. With a largely polite, he replied, Burkina Faso is like to have us. We are bringing order to show. Clara noted, clear, impressed, completely unaware that the veiled man being insulted was sitting just 2 rows away. A woman in the cabin, an African nurse, returned to Bobo Dialoso, noticed everything. She shook her head and whispered to her neighbor, that our president, they don't even know who they are humiliating. Her neighbor, Hazy, witnessed in disbelief, but no one said a word. The president clear didn't want attention, and no one dare break the silence. Hours passed. The light dimmed. Most passengers slept, but Ibrahim Traore stayed awake, staring queerly out of window. He wasn't ugly. He was patient. And when the will touch her down in Ouagadougou, that patient would become history. As the press prepared to land, the cabin light flashed on. The captain made the landing announcement in French and English. Passengers stretched fascinated their seatbelt outside. The golden sun lights up the red soil of the city below. What no one could yet see from inside the place was the glowing convoy awaiting the aircraft. Rows of black SUV, military vehicles, and a full presidential escort lining the tarmac. Whisper replied through the cabin. Are we landing in a war zone? One foreign asked the neighbors. No, that's just military protocol, something replied. Maybe something important in arriving. Another said. The French CEO smirked, chuckling. Must be for me. Clara laughed along, already preparing to escort him off the plane first, clipboard in hand. But the moment the plane stopped, everything changed.